I'm just going to mark this. There. And get my handy dandy metal separator thingy. Doink. And here I have my pawl spring. Man, this thing's gonna work. Sorry, I sort of skeptical at the start of it. This thing's gonna work. Well, after a little bit of tinkering, I shortened that pawl up, and I can get it to engage on every tooth. Well, I've cut myself a piece of stock to make that lathe dog. It's 1.5 by 1/2 inch wide, and I cut it 3.5 long. Okay, and I'm just going to face off both sides, and then I'll do the top and the bottom. Okay, and to round off the edge here, I'm probably gonna make a layout with a compass on some ink. I actually bought Dykem, so I might use that, and cut out the corners with a grinder, and then file it to a nice profile. Okay, that's what I'm doing next. That's the lathe dog. Okay, so I've got this down to, I'm oversized by maybe 2 or 3 thou. Okay, and over here what I'm doing is the slot for the anchor to the backing plate on the chuck, right? That's this is going to rest, this end's going to rest against the drive plate. Okay, and what I'm doing now is drilling it to size, and then I'm going to remove the most of it with the grinder, and then I'm going to the slotting portion of it. I'm going to grind it out. It's not as hard as on cutters, right? If I had a bandsaw, I'd do it on a bandsaw, and then I'm going to file the surface is smooth so they don't have any hiccups or wear anything out unnecessarily, right? So I'm going to finish drilling that. I don't have a 13/16 drill bit, so I'm going to end up by boring it to size. I know it's overkill, but I just don't have the drill bit. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. I'm just putting a mark so I can actually just making a mark so I can, when I touch off, I can see that I've actually made contact with the piece. Okay, and put my machine in neutral. Wind it in a bit. Lock the quill, bring it down. And then just bring it out till I actually get a scratch mark on there. And a little more. I can hear it, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to take a first pass 10 thou. Okay. One division is really 1 thou in this boring head. That's what I like about it. It delivers what it says it does. I'm guessing it's a 40 treads per inch screw in there, and you can divide. If you have 40 treads, if you have 40 treads per inch, 1 divided by 40 gives you, it's 25 thou per revolution, and it's divided in 50 bits. So divided by 50, that's 5/10 per increment. Well, maybe it's not a 140. Or okay, and that's carbide. Engage that, and I bet you that could do, since that's not an inch, that could be probably 400 revolutions per, but when I go above a certain speed, my machine starts to vibrate all over the place. My stand isn't that solid. So I'm just going to take a scratch pass and then check it out. Slowly feed it on the quill. I've made it through. Wind it out. Raise it up. And now take a measurement. To lift it up higher. I wish this thing was power feed. It's asking too much. A little side-to-side movement there, so it's not. What you do is you put it like a 15 or 20 degree incline, give it a slight snug, and then pull it out straight. Should give you a precise measurement. And right now we are looking at . speed spin. There. So I am reading right now 0.75. I'm reading 0.775. And that is 11, 12, 13, 13.5 plus my tenths, which I don't really need to do, but it is a 3. So I'm looking at 78,888, and I want to hit the 13/16 mark. So I have 23 thousandths to go. So another 23 thousandths. I'm just going to set this up another 23 thousandths. So that's 10, 20, 23 thousandths. There it is. A little snug on those. Bring it down. Make my final. And I'm going to check it again with the mic to see if I'm on the ball with my technique. So now I'm going to put in the set screw at the end of my lathe dog. Bring it down, over. I might be using this wrong, I'm not sure, but it doesn't act the same way as on the other side. Like, you could probably pinpoint something on an incline and it would shift over to one side as soon as you touch it. But when you're doing a hole like that, it just keeps it there. So I guess you're supposed to, I don't know. Got my pallet hole started. Now I'm going to come up on the final dimension in 2 steps. It's more precise if you don't try to do it in 1 step. Like, I mean, like, your drill isn't going to walk on you because it's so tiny, right? There we go. Take this off, and my final dimension is going to be 7/32, and then I'm going to tap it out with a taper tap. So 30 seconds. tap in there. A little snug. Set this in neutral. Bring it on down. And it started spinning on me. Far enough. I don't want to destroy my chuck or make it lose its accuracy. Whoops. I need to make myself a tap follower, I think. Because if I start going cockeyed a little bit on smaller taps, I'd probably end up breaking it. And since this would be a good place for a gun tap, if I wanted to my stuff to just fall into the hole, I think I can tap this in one operation. I don't have to back it out. And it's quite a big tap. It's 1/4 of an inch. So. But on smaller stuff, you want to give it a chance to clean itself out. And if these are clean, should be good. That's all it was, a little piece of debris. Oh, maybe I should have put a chamfer on there before I started tapping into it to help it guide it in. I always forget that part. I'm going to have to take a little chamfer off of the top here. Makes for a better quarter speed, 250 roughly. Run the tap through it again. I don't know if I can get it. Oops. Yeah, it's still clean. So now I'm just gonna cut out the other end of the tail of the lathe dog. Okay. I was gonna say tail stop, but I'd be way off on that one, wouldn't I?